Hi, it's me, Rochelle with eXp. And recently I was talking with a lady who is thinking about selling her house. And the question came up was, do I need to stage this property? So I'm going to go over the pros and cons. And remember, it is always up to the seller to do what they think would be best to sell their home. So, what does it mean by staging a property? That's the first thing. So, basically, it means that the furniture and artwork and just the way it's all arranged makes the property the most appealing for potential buyers who are coming through. So, um, you know, for example, like in my own home, like my kitchen counters are just filled up with stuff. Now, if somebody were to come through here and look at this property and be like, oh, I would want to buy it or I don't want to buy it, what would they think? They'd probably be like, no thanks, because that kitchen is just too messy. But also, if somebody were to come into the same kitchen with the counters cleared off and maybe a nice little sign that says like, home sweet home, type of a thing, or get some air freshener to make it smell good, that could really help people to feel at home, feel cozy, have that great feeling that, yes, I want to put in an offer on this property. So, like I said, it's entirely up to the seller. But what I do recommend is that the seller definitely gets the property clean. So if there's, something on the wall and now it's not there, so the nail hole is there, or if it was, a spot on the wall that where the sun came in, so now that spot is darker than the rest of the wall, I would definitely recommend, having that fixed up so it's a nice clean space. So there was this case that I was told about where the sellers had a beautiful hardwood floor and they had their couches, their chairs, bookshelves, rugs, things on the floor that are typical things to have. And then when the sellers got all of the items out of the property, then the buyers came in for their final walkthrough. The walkthrough is the time for the buyers to ensure that the property is in the same or better shape, or that the inspector, whatever items were recommended to be fixed, that all of those items have been resolved. That's when the buyers noticed that because of like the rug on the floor, for example, then the sun came in through the window and it caused the hardwood floor to become faded, except where the rug was, then it was darker. So then this property had this hardwood floor that had all these mismatched, different colored spots. That was not the intention of what the buyer was going to purchase. So then this had to be renegotiated with the seller of what is going to be done to correct or to resolve this issue. So that is one con of staging, is basically that go into a place, you see furniture, you see artwork, you don't necessarily see, everything to determine, are you going to accept that imperfection? Do you want it, fixed? How would you, as the buyer, want your property to look? Because maybe you're going in, you're thinking, wow, I love the furniture here. But then that's not your furniture, it's somebody else's. So it takes a lot of thinking, a lot of visualizing. So a pro of having a vacant property would be you get to see everything. There's no question of, oh, is there a hole in that wall? Or, oh, how wide is this room? I can't reach it because of something in the way. You can bring in your tape measures and you can, see exactly what you're getting. Also, when in a vacant property, I feel like people spend more time in that property to really think about, is this what we would want? Because, you go to somebody's house when they're not home, all their furniture, all their possessions are out, then I think people feel a little unnerved. And that, makes people look quicker and then leave faster and then not have the opportunity to really give that property, a really good think through. So a pro of staging is that I have heard of this where sellers have this beautiful living room set, bedroom set, kitchen, table, what have you. Buyers come in and they say, oh my goodness, I love the furniture. Can we buy it? Can this just come with the property? And so that is something that would have to be negotiated with the sellers. But think of how much time and energy that would save without the need to go shopping, get the furniture ordered, wait for it, have it delivered, be at home when it's delivered. Now you're in your new home, not wanting to have, walls scratched, trim on doors broken, things like that. So, that is definitely a very specific scenario that would have to be negotiated amongst the parties, but that is something I have heard of. So on the contrary of what I had said about, people may feel rushed going into a staged home because it's technically somebody else's house and they're not home. So now on the contrary to that, if somebody may go into a property that is staged and have that homey, cozy, feeling and realize this is what they were wanting. And it did take that furniture and it did take the signs, it says like, live, love, laugh, type of a thing for them to realize that that was the property that they wanted. But above all, before staging, I always recommend have curb appeal, have the lawn mowed, have the landscape looking good, have the mulch if needed, pull the weeds from the cracks in the driveway, because the curb appeal is what is the first impression, and then the staging is really the icing on the cake. So for any other questions about staging or real estate, contact me. My information is below. Have a great day.